And welcome back to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from Samantha Blake, who asked the question, who would win in a fight? Doomslayer, which is basically Doom Guy, just from a different version of the game series, versus, and I had to remember who this character was till I actually, Googled him, like, oh, it's this guy, okay. I believe his name is pronounced Arkillo. Basically, Sinestro's right-hand man in the Yellow Lantern Corps. Now, Doom Guy, or Doomslayer as he's known in this one, has consistently, again and again, been the main character, more or less, of Doom. I think with next to no exceptions. He's been fighting the armies of hell for eons at this point, decades to eons, and is more or less immortal. Like he's no longer human. He's been gifted a level of immortality by, who was it? Like Seraphim or something like that? Some non-demonic entities. Because of this, he no longer needs to eat, sleep, or breathe, really. He fights longer and harder than any man can. He's physically more capable than any normal human, taking on the forces of hell more times than we can really count, except we can count, because there's games and everything else for that. And, I mean, he obviously comes equipped with a roster of weapons that Doom Guy normally would. He does have a couple other extra weapons, I believe, from the game, but more or less you get his shotgun, his pistol, like automatic rifle. You get the BFG, the one that I can never remember the last one, the Hellmaker, is that what it's called? Or no, the Unmaker, I think that was what it's called. The one that basically feeds on demonic energy. And he wears his battle suit, which gives him enhanced abilities, shield, just enhanced strength that he can temporarily survive in a vacuum. Doomslayer, or Doom Guy, depending on how you look at him, is iconic and a very capable individual. Arkillo is a Yellow Lantern. Now, he comes from the same area that Kilowog does. Not necessarily the same planet, but the same general solar system. That's why they both kind of look similar. He was given a Yellow Lantern due to the fact that he was very intimidating and imposing on his own planet. And he was one of the first ones, so he serves as Sinestro's right-hand man. He's basically the Kilowog of the Yellow Lanterns. It's basically the drill sergeant, the boot camp guy. As a Yellow Lantern, though, he has all the abilities that a general Lantern Corps member would have of any Lantern Corps. Energy constructs, flight, matter alteration, some levels of time travel, if you get to it. If you're skilled enough in your usage of the Mastery of the Ring. Flight, shields, again, doesn't need food or water to survive. Create energy duplicate. Create wormholes, so forth, so on. Basically, like all the Lantern Corps have the general same amount of abilities. Now, there are abilities overall that are unique to each corps, I think with the exception of the Green Lanterns. I can never remember what the uniqueness of the Green Lanterns are. Excuse me. But to be a Yellow Lantern, obviously, you have to be able to instill great fear into individuals. And that is the thing. Your mastery over fear is what gives you the ability to use a Yellow Lantern ring. And furthermore, you can actually use your opponent's fears against them. You can actually pinpoint what the fear is and basically control them and turn your constructs into that which they are the most afraid of. And Arkillo is no exception to that. Now, if these two meet in a fight, what happens? Well, let's assume for a minute this is taking place on a planet where hell is taken over, and maybe Doomslayer just beat hell for the umpteenth time. Arkillo comes to the planet investigating what was going on, sensing that there have been entities that inspire great fear, so maybe they could have been recruits. He sees Doomslayer. They have a brief chat and interaction, and things don't go his way. So the fight commences. Now, admittedly, Doomslayer / Doom Guy has faced hell so many times, he doesn't have any fear left in him. There's nothing you can exploit from him. So, unfortunately, Arkillo's not going to be able to feed off the fear or use his fear against him because he just doesn't have any fear left in him. So there's going to be a limit to how much he's going to be able to use that. I mean, he can still create his energy constructs because, weirdly enough, your control over fear, your mastery of fear, isn't actually what controls your lantern. Your will still controls a Yellow Lantern ring. Like your imagination, all that. That still is what controls your Yellow Lantern ring. It's just it's stronger based on the amount of fear you're able to instill in others. Which is, it's the same, honestly, with everything else. Is that, like, with the Red Lantern Corps, most Red Lantern Corps members are just mindless rage mutts, with exceptions of, like, oh god, why am I forgetting his name? Atrocitus, who actually overcame that. Now, he's still fueled by his rage and anger, but he can use his will to manipulate and make constructs and things along those lines. Sapphires, Lanterns of Love, still use their will and imagination. Granted, it's still fueled by their love, but still. It's the will that's actually controlling what you're doing. It's just that your passion, your love, and all the other emotions are what ultimately are fueling the ring's power. So while he will not be able to draw any fear out on Doomslayer also, here's the thing, and I know a lot of people are probably going to get, especially Doomslayer, Doom guy, Doom fans, is that Doom guy is fighting the forces of hell. Great. All the forces of hell were susceptible to firearms, susceptible to just general weaponry on some level. Could just be beating the crud out of him. The forces of hell don't really have much in the way of abilities like a Lantern Corps member do, at least as perceived in the Doom game series. I mean, to be fair, I think I remember playing the original Doom. I remember playing that one, but I've never played any of the newer games. So maybe something's happened in the newer games that I am unaware of. But if we are going with the idea of all the weapons he currently that exist in the Doom franchise, he has at his disposal. None of the weapons he has could get through any Lantern constructs, let alone like the barrier they already have on them. Doom guys basically just is fighting an uphill battle against someone that is already a trained warrior, has abilities that most, if not any of the demons from hell really just don't have at their disposal, and durability that can tank pretty much any weapon he throws at him. There's literally no weapon I can think of in the Doom franchise, unless for some reason you have a demonic Lantern Corps member of some kind. That would probably be in the either the Red Lantern Corps or the Black Lantern Corps. There's no weapon he has in his arsenal that could touch him, like, at all. So, but save if his, like, shields were down. Ultimately, it's unfortunately a losing fight for Doomslayer, in my opinion, because Doomslayer just can't dish out any damage to Arkillo. Arkillo can dish out damage to him. Now, Doomslayer is not a weak guy by any stretch of the means, let's be clear. He's enhanced, he's got durability, he can definitely take some hits. But ultimately, for instance, if he's wearing his armor, I imagine Arkillo would eventually just use his ring to dismantle the armor bit by bit by bit. Maybe even grabbing him in like just a giant like clasp or something, like energy clasp, and then seeping the energy into the armor and then just tearing it apart by piece. So, and then, it's just a one guy who's still a powerful dude by normal man standards, even though he's not technically a normal man anymore. But ultimately, unfortunately, Doomslayer is just ill-equipped for a fight against the Lantern Corps member in general. So I have to go with Arkillo in this. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get some people who might argue differently, and if you do, that's fine. No harm with that. Just if you have a reason for why you think Doomslayer will win, just put it in the comments below. I just want to say this real quick too. It both annoys and amuses me when people try to argue their case, like, oh no, this guy stomps because he's the best, because he's stronger, and this is it. Okay, that's great. Can you give me examples? So I see that so many times. Like, no, he wins. No, total curb stomp because he's just better and better and better. It's like, that's not an argument. That's just you stating an opinion. Now, if you can give me some facts to back up that opinion, then we can maybe turn it into a more coherent argument. But until then, that is just you stating an opinion. So if you want to give your theories on why Doomslayer would win, sure. I mean, I can't stop you from making comments like that. Like, no, you'd win because he's better. That's fine. Just know that that's not an argument. That's an opinion. See, I at least try to present an argument for why Doomslayer loses. Like, none of his weapons would really work on a Lantern Corps member. Even his best weapons, like the BFG, it's just a giant energy blast. Yeah, it might hurt, but like it might disrupt his energy shield a bit. But at the same time, he can move. Most Lantern Corps members can move at near light speed, just as traveling speed. So, and then create an energy shield to stop that as well. The BFG is a powerful weapon, but I doubt it could get through a Lantern Corps member's shield. And then obviously the Unmaker. only works on individuals from hell, demonic entities. So he's not, so that wouldn't do anything. I think grenades, fire, like just bullets, they wouldn't do anything, unfortunately. So yeah, and then physicality wise, I mean, yeah, he's pretty powerful, but again, not like DC level strong, at least in terms of going up against a Lantern Corps member. Most Lantern Corps members could go to, like some of the most effective Lantern Corps members can go toe to toe with individuals like Superman, like with Martian Manhunter, the real heavy hitters of DC. Doom Guy is powerful, Doomslayer is powerful, but by enhanced human standards, not by God tier level standards. At least from what I can tell. At least from what I could find out. So yeah, the really only advantage Doomslayer has in this fight is that the power up fear isn't going to work on him. Which is why when we get to the Doom Guy versus Pennywise fight, eventually down the road at some point, Pennywise is going to have a problem. Yes, and by the way, that is, many people have given me that suggestion, so that eventually that will show up at some point. Until then, though, my money's on Arkillo. Again, if you can think of a real reason that Doomslayer could actually win, put it in the comments below. Till then, though, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, superhero, magic, what if anything I do on the channel, put that in the comments below as well. I'll get that at some point. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Later.